For Liverpool, the return of that injury-hit trio, Whelan, Barnes and Thomas, gives the team a quality threshold that Graham Souness has not enjoyed in full for 7 months. 9 internationals in the starting lineup today, 2 more on the bench, and that gives Liverpool, as Alan Hansen said, a more familiar look. Now, how are they going to play? Well, I believe that Barnes will start on the left. There's a change at fullback because David Burrows is injured. So Barry Venison will play at right back and Rob Jones will switch across to the left. That's how I think they'll start. McManaman up front with Saunders. Now, Ron Atkinson thought about playing an extra defender today, but then he said on Friday, well, what the heck, let's just pick our best players. And they've got some very good ones. Nigel Spink keeps his place in goal from Les Seeley, and there are places in attack for Tony Daly, Dalian Atkinson and Dwight Yorke. And what a potentially exciting formation this promises to be. Because Atkinson up the middle with Regis, Daly wide on one flank, Yorke wide on the other. Mark Blake gets the vote at right back because Earl Barrett is cup-tied and Darius Kubicki is one of the subs. And that's how Villa will start. The referee is Mr. Philip Don of Hanworth in Middlesex. And just time for Trevor Brooking to say what part he thinks John Barnes might play.
Well, just his presence, I think, must be a lift for all the players. And I think in Genoa, you know, that bit of extra flair, the time he seems to have on the ball and his ability to go past defenders could be the difference today. And Ronnie Whelan in midfield, of course, as well, sitting in front of the back four. Those 2 old faces, I'm sure, will lift the team and the supporters. But I think we're in for a great match. Well,
I haven't been to a match this season where the 2 sets of supporters have apparently been looking forward to it with so much enthusiasm. On the way to the ground today, both Liverpool and Aston Villa followers just couldn't wait for the game to start. It's the tie of the round, there's no question about that, even before they've kicked a ball. Because with Nottingham Forest going out, the winners of this have got to have one eye on Wembley, haven't they? Or am I being unfair to the others? Anyway, it's Aston Villa in a Brazilian-style new strip. They can't take the kick-off because Saunders was in the Aston Villa half, so it gives us time to admire not just him, but these yellow shirts and blue shorts that Villa have had as their new style alternative kit. And now they are underway, and Aston Villa are attacking the Kop end, and Nigel Spink is wearing a cap, which indicates just what a bright afternoon it is here. Spink is 33, been out of the side from October until this last midweek. Looks for Daly. Barnes, and that was McManaman picking it up from Michael Thomas, and John Barnes starts a run in the 2nd minute, and Teal comes across to deal with him straight away. Every time the ball goes near Barnes, the Liverpool supporters who've missed him so much are expecting big things. It's only the 6th game, Trevor, that he started this season.
It is, and I think the flexibility of him and McManaman was evident there, because Steve McManaman can go out wide as well. He and Barnes could well interchange, take it in turns to play down the middle with Saunders, and then the other going out wide. And of course, with Mark Blake, who is a midfield player, playing right back in recent games, it'll be a test in time for him.
It will be a big test for Mark Blake, that's very true. And we'll see how he copes with it as the afternoon goes on. It's Nicol to take the free kick. Saunders moving across the area. There is Blake with Barnes, and Barnes won it, but the flag's up for offside. Mark Blake, who's played, as you say, more in midfield, but he's a versatile lad, and he's been told by Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray exactly what they expect of him today. He's got to keep an eye on Barnes. That was Richardson's lofted ball forward for Tony Daly. Rob Jones is marking him. 2 young England prospects there. Daly, who's had 1 cap, and so has Jones now, of course. That's McGrath. And Richardson. And a good effort, and almost a carbon copy of the goal he scored here in the league when Villa drew 1-1 with Liverpool back in September, and Richardson scored from roughly that position.
Well, there's a good long throw here, which was intelligently nodded on, and a good volley by Richardson. Just tipped around the post.
On by Regis. And back by Jones, who looks quite comfortable on this left-hand side, doesn't he?
Well, I think he played a number of games at Crewe, and when Liverpool were watching him, a lot of his games were played there, although he is naturally right-footed.
Here's Saunders. And Parker getting back.
But it's going to be a good contest, isn't it, between Jones and Daly, both very pacey. Dwight York on the left isn't quite as quick as this pairing, and Barry Venison have been out for a while. Perhaps you could have an opportunity where Daly has a little run on the left-hand side to get away from Jones, because Jones has got an excellent acceleration and seems to be keeping pace with Tony Daly quite comfortably at the moment.
It's Thomas to McManaman. Now it's Houghton, and Thomas continues running from midfield. Blake. Regis. Oh, he got that away from Mark Wright. Here's Daly. And again, still Tony Daly. Couldn't quite set up Richardson. Thomas was the player who intervened. Whelan made the tackle. McGrath. Oh, well played by Dalian. Atkinson. Brilliant control and a good save to deny Dalian Atkinson what would have been a spectacular goal. Grobbelaar turned Atkinson's shot round for a corner, but the piece of skill which preceded the shot, which we'll talk about more when we've had the corner, was instantaneous and almost breathtaking from Dalian Atkinson. 20 minutes remaining in the first half. It's a corner to Aston Villa. Wasted. Had a long debate with Ron Atkinson and his staff about corners last night, but that's another matter. We must stay with the action here, because Villa have got the throw-in on this side. Regis. Here's York. McGrath had the shot, there was a deflection on it, and Grobbelaar scrambles down. What about that control and shot then from the Villa number 10, Trevor?
Oh, it's good skill. Paul McGrath played it through, and it just doesn't come down perhaps early enough. He tries a dipper over Bruce Grobbelaar.
Forward by Venison. And Saunders gets the free kick. The foul given against Teal. In quickly, Barnes. Quick thinking again.
Another example of quickly taken free kicks, just giving forwards that extra yard. Ray Houghton standing on the ball, whips it in very quickly, and a right footer, always just going to miss that post, but I'm not sure whether Nigel Spink would have got to that if it had been on target.
Daly. Bit of a late challenge by Michael Thomas on Kevin Richardson there. Forward by McGrath. Atkinson's there, number 10. Most expensive player that Aston Villa have ever bought. £1.6 million from Real Sociedad, Dalian Atkinson, having previously played for Ipswich Town and Sheffield Wednesday. As a foul by McGrath, according to the referee. Nicol takes the kick. Here comes Barnes with the header.
That's a good header. Just couldn't quite keep it down enough. They've tried to hit John Barnes 3 or 4 occasions, haven't they? He has got the beating in the air of Mark Blake, and that one it just couldn't get over it to head it down under the crossbar. But they keep isolating Barnes and Blake, so as he gets a free jump, one or two have just cleared him. That one just slightly too high. But they do get one on target. You do feel he is going to out-jump Blake on each occasion. They might need to swap that over at free kicks, I think, Villa.
And that header back was by Teal. So the manager will have been pleased to see Barnes getting into at least two scoring or potential scoring positions. It's Venison. Houghton. Not a good clearance by Staunton, but Villa give him two chances to get the ball away. And finally Parker does, and he's found Daly, who's got a bit of space in front of him now. Barnes drops back in front of the fullback. Daly's cross, Wright's clearance. Comes back to McGrath. Into Richardson. And now Staunton. And a good piece of play by Barry Venison. The interception and the pass has set Liverpool on the attack with Saunders. Good turn by him. Saunders shot!
Well, you don't often see Paul McGrath wrong-footed like that. Very good turn, takes two defenders out, and he hits the shot exceptionally well. You won't get closer to the goal without touching the post. That was very, very close. It just, a bit of movement in the air late on, just took it outside the post.
The tendency these days is to stand and not sit for the coaching staff and substitutes. Eventually Michael Thomas finds Dean Saunders. Barnes powering through inside, two others further over. Houghton's made a forward run. This is Whelan. Venison joining up now. Venison, who scored here in one of the European games just before Christmas, had plenty of time to line up the shot then.
Yeah, just got tucked under his feet a little bit, and he's still quite a long way out. He had about another 5-10 yards to get further forward, and Nigel Spink was always across to cover that.
That was a stop-start sort of first half in which the parts were rather better than the whole, I felt. It was spoiled by a few interruptions at times, but the fans applauded some good build-up play, if maybe in the end the end product escaped both teams. A couple of good moments at either end, but at half-time in this sixth round FA Cup tie, John Barnes goes off explaining one or two things to Mark Wright. The score is Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 0, but everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. Well, there's Dariusz Kubicki, the Polish international fullback, who's recently lost his place because Earl Barrett has come from Oldham. That's for obviously league games, Barrett's cup side. So Kubicki's back in the action now in place of Blake in the right back position. Hamstring injury, I gather, was the problem with Mark Blake. And Liverpool lining up to start the second half. This has been a very lucky stage of the competition for Liverpool. They've won their last 10 quarter-finals in the FA Cup. Last went out at this stage in 1970 to Watford. Well, Dean Saunders and Sean Teal tangling, and the Liverpool man gets the free kick. Ray Houghton will take it. Mark Wright's on his way forward. And there is Mark Wright, in fact, and Jones comes up from fullback as well. Here's Barnes. Just having a quick look at the far side of the ground, you'll have noticed how that stand has shot up since we were last here. That's the Kemlyn Road redevelopment, where the top tier is going to have, obviously, some superb seating, but also banqueting and conference facilities. And if you sit on the back row of that far stand, that's the view you'll get of the match here at Anfield. York Interception was by Whelan. Now it's Thomas. Whelan's continued his run here, number 5. McManaman to the right, Saunders in the middle, so too is Barnes. Whelan. And it's cleared by Richardson. And then headed back by York straight to Venison.
Barry Venison seeing a rueful smile there. They saw glory on the half volley. One of those, if they fly in the net, it looks great. But that one had the cop duck in for cover.
We've been playing for an hour. And here goes Dean Saunders. Michael Thomas in a good position in the centre. Barnes is there as well, and McManaman. Here comes Thomas. Oh, what a chance. He's missed it. Saunders made it possible, and that, Trevor, I would have thought was the best opening of the afternoon, because Sean Teal for once missed the ball.
Well, that was the key to it. It was a very good cross, but I think Thomas thought Sean Teal would cut it out and then just saw it late. It hit him more than him hitting the ball, and you just feel it must bobble into the net. Gets a little deflection on the cross, and he just drags it past the post. I mean, it's a terrific chance.
Little conversation going on between the fans and Mr. Atkinson. Nice touch that in the heat of a cup tie. And Regis comes in. Oh, and Grobbelaars, where's the ball, he says. Well, actually, it was behind him, and Barry Venison was the only one who knew. McManaman for Liverpool, though. That's good play. Jones. Whelan, it needed somebody left, perhaps. Yes, it wanted somebody to go wide on the left. There was acres of space out there. But meantime, Bruce Grobbelaar, I think, came for a ball there towards Cyrille Regis, Trevor, and seemed to lose his bearings.
There are a lot of bodies in front of him, and he's just bounced off his chest there, and then he's just doing a little pirouette there. He's not sure where it is. Unfortunately, Barry Venison it was who hooked it away.
Well, life's never dull, is it, when Bruce Grobbelaar's involved? We're 20 minutes into the second half, no score, but in the last few attacks there's been a sign maybe that as tiredness creeps in, there could be openings. Here's York. And here's Atkinson. Mark Wright came to meet him. Regis with a chance. Good challenge by Venison again. Cyrille Regis span away from his marker there, and it all began to open up for Aston Villa. Venison has now made 2 prime clearances, and Villa have the corner. McGrath up into the near post position in front of York. Atkinson just behind them. Teal is there as well. Grobbelaar with Atkinson this time. He holds on cleanly. Well, Villa have regrouped their forces and had a good couple of minutes there.
When Parker headed it back in, just as he turned to Regis, he just knocked it too far, just ran away from him.
Michael Thomas, great chance again, and this time Thomas scores. It was made by Barnes, and Thomas puts it away so cleanly that the supporters now have forgotten all about the one he missed earlier. Liverpool are in front after 67 minutes, and Graham Souness sees the 2 players who've come back today from injury combining through the middle. Barnes with the slide rule pass, and this time Thomas's finish so assured.
Well, it's a great finish, and see John Barnes suddenly in the middle, and his vision picks out Michael Thomas, the beauty of a midfield player breaking down the offside trap, and he picks his spot superbly.
Well, that's, as you said, if you get midfield players into those positions, if they've got the stamina and they can read the game to get there, then you'll get a bonus from it, and they have now. Villa are a goal down. It's Staunton. But here they come with 3 on the far post. Atkinson coming in, and York, and Grobbelaar again comes out with the ball. Michael Thomas's 2nd goal since coming to Liverpool from Arsenal. The first one was at Oldham in the league. But that's his pass, and look at this. It's Saunders. McManaman's free in the middle. It's still Saunders. And now it's Houghton. Suddenly the match has opened up. Whelan. It could still go for Barnes here. Well, I remember saying about 10 minutes ago that you get a feeling in games with Liverpool, Trevor, that they get dug in and you think they're going to do it, and then the goal comes along.
Well, you had that opening, didn't you, just for Cyrille Regis a minute or so before, and the first counter-attack afterwards, John Barnes opens it up, but I think we're in for a terrific last 20 minutes because Villa must start pushing forward now from the back, and just in that last attack for Liverpool, we see what happens then. They're going to leave gaps behind. But Villa are still in this game. They're going to throw extra men forward, but it does mean that they are going to be vulnerable perhaps on the counter-attack. But they might as well go out losing 2-0 as not to give it a big shot now in this last 20 minutes.
I was just thinking, probably the last goal Michael Thomas scored at Anfield was the one that won the league for Arsenal, wasn't it, in the last minute in 89. Well, he scored one now that the Liverpool fans will be rather happier to remember, and Ron Atkinson reflects on the fact that a minute earlier his team could have gone ahead. So swiftly does the game change. Here's Barnes, and now Houghton. Saunders in a good position, far post corner. The Kop in full voice now. Mark Wright is coming forward. Arm up, wants it played out and long. But it goes to Barnes. And he can't find Houghton, but here's Venison. And Wright. McManaman's down the left, and as you said, Trevor, Aston Villa will have to look for a way to take risks, and in doing so, there is the danger they'll leave themselves light for Liverpool to score again. It all adds up to a very exciting closing period here in the FA Cup 6th round. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0. The scorer, Michael Thomas. And the back pass there was by Rob Jones. Staunton to Regis. Oh, he slipped right, or was he? Well, he had, but he was held. It's got to be a free kick. Now, from the last free kick Villa had in this position, all sorts of things happened. Grobbelaar came for the ball and didn't quite get it, and there was a scramble. And if they can get the delivery right again, and there's a shout from the bench to Staunton to tell him how to deal with this, but in the meantime, a substitution. They are going to bring Froggatt on, the teenager, number 14. He's going to replace Dwight York, number 11.
Tony Dalian had to go back on the right, because Steve Froggatt is very much a left-sided player.
Well, he's gone into the centre for the moment because they're waiting for this free kick to be delivered. Regis again, the front man. Atkinson and Teal. Parker! Great save! I don't know how much Grobbelaar saw of that, but it was, as Parker's expression reflects, a terrific save, because that sat up nicely for Gary Parker, and you can't say he didn't strike it well. Look at that. It's a corner. Froggatt. Houghton. Well, Jones is marking Froggatt at the moment. And Aston Villa must have thought, and their supporters behind the goal particularly, must have seen that winging its way into the net. But Bruce Grobbelaar had other ideas, and whatever you say about his antics, the man is an exceptional goalkeeper, and he proved it then. On by Regis. This is Froggatt, and Grobbelaar's had to go back. They've got three waiting in the middle here. Surely Villa. Atkinson. And he hit... The ball hit him rather than anything else. And there were two other players, Trevor, better placed than him to finish off that cross.
The problem, I think, you get so much time. He's broken the offside. He's looking up. There's three in there. And for me, I think the forward players have got too far in there. There's there's no sort of area for a mistake. If you just hang out that little bit more, you can then go onto the ball, but they're all waiting along the 6-yard box. If somebody could have just pulled out and given Stephen Froggatt a much better option, but he had 3 in a line to try and hit, but that was a terrific opportunity for Villa. 2 now, and in what, 2 or 3 minutes, I should think Ron Atkinson and Andy Gray must be a bit frustrated.
Here's Venison into the last quarter of an hour, and Liverpool have had 2 escapes. Well, you can't call the first one an escape. It was a thrilling save by Grobbelaar, but the second one, Froggatt had 3 players up, and it had 1-1 written all over it. Instead, it's still 1-0, and here's Jones. Good play. Thomas. I know what people mean when they say if your name's on the cup, because sometimes in a match like this, luck does go in one direction so fiercely, but let's see if Daly can turn it round. Atkinson. And Villa are throwing everything at Liverpool now, and that's a great ball by McGrath, and Grobbelaar saw what a danger it was and came and scooped it from Dalian. Atkinson. Grobbelaar's hurt his hand in doing that. The right arm giving the goalkeeper concern. Dalian Atkinson was sneaking in.
Bruce Grobbelaar just signalling there that he wants to get some treatment. He asked Phil Bergsma to come round, and he's pointed to, look, this is the reason why I want a bit of treatment. And whether he's got a cut, yes, look, he's got a gash there, and whether it'll need stitches or not, I don't know, but it needs to be strapped up at this moment.
Just dealing here as well, Trevor, with that is the incident we should be looking at, because Grobbelaar is very annoyed. But just while that was going on, there was a substitution by Liverpool, and Ronnie Rosenthal has come on in place of Steve McManaman. So that took place while all the drama was in Bruce Grobbelaar's area. Now we'll see here what happened. I think it's McGrath's pass. It's certainly Atkinson who's through, and Bruce just scoops it with his right arm and cuts his hand. Is it his?
Yeah, it's a right hand. I think it could only be a stud that's just caught it, because he looks as if he's just split it on the inside, and it's just going to be taped up now to make sure that it's held together, when probably later they'll put a couple of stitches in, I would think. But at this moment, I think you'd have to drag Bruce Grobbelaar off. He wants to see it out this 90 minutes and keep a blank sheet.
Barnes. Whelan. Oh, look at that flick by Barnes. Here's Rosenthal. There was an astute flick by John Barnes in that move, which was every bit as clever as the Atkinson trick in the first half. Brilliant. Daly for Villa. Got 4 up with him. Still Daly. Richardson. Froggatt taking on Barry Venison. Another corner to Villa.
He's taken up some good positions, Stephen Froggatt, since he's come on. He's added a little bit to their attacking play.
He certainly has, and it is non-stop Villa attacking now. McGrath and Teal there again for the corner. Plays it back to Staunton. Runs on. Kubicki. Rosenthal. And the cop in a cheerful shout for handball.
Michael Thomas, I think, has just pulled up with hamstring trouble there, which will be a terrible tragedy, because he's made a lot of running, but it's a lot to ask when you've just been out. I hope it's not the same injury.
Good spot that, Trevor. This is Regis for Villa. Staunton and Atkinson's in the centre here, flicking it on for McGrath, and Thomas it was who pushed the ball back to Grobbelaar. McGrath who followed through. And to go back, oh, there's going to be a booking here. Is that McGrath who's going to get booked for the challenge on the goalkeeper?
Well, it was just hanging a leg out. Bruce jumped up and fell over laughing. I don't think that was a booking offence.
They're going to have to get Michael Thomas off, aren't they? He's, as you said, pulled up suddenly, and he's going to take no further part. The goal scorer is leaving the field to quite an ovation. And The 5 minutes which remain will see Jan Molby on the field for Liverpool, number 14. Liverpool 1, Aston Villa 0. The scorer off the pitch injured, Michael Thomas. Liverpool less than 2 minutes away from the semi-final of the FA Cup. And there he is, head bowed on the bench. But his goal may have edged them one step nearer Wembley. It has, unless Aston Villa can bring this game to a thrilling climax now. Richardson, Nicol, Teal. Right. First one way, then the other. Now Houghton. And now Ronnie Rosenthal on his own. McGrath inevitably steps in. But heads it straight to Barnes. Molby. Well, Saunders, great chance for Saunders. Oh, didn't quite get the lift. It looked like a terrific ball from Rob Jones, that actually, which got him through, but he tried to lob Nigel Spink. Didn't get enough height on the ball, otherwise it was all over. As it is, it's Venison, and we're coming up to the 90 minutes. Staunton forward for Villa. Parker, and Barnes, look where he is. That says something about the star system at Liverpool, not just today, but never mind the quality of the play. They've all got a job to do in defence as well as in attack, and John Barnes really has made in this second half 4 or 5 telling interceptions in his own half of the field, as well as making the winning goal, what may be the winning goal. And Sean Teal concedes a corner. Well, this has built up gradually into a storming cup time. We're into stoppage time, the Coppers singing. Liverpool are seconds away possibly from the semi-final. They have the corner. Aston Villa must be drained now. And Saunders plays it short to Houghton. Venison. Barnes. This is not a time to lose possession. But Liverpool won't need telling that. They've won many games in the dying seconds. Now they're trying not to lose one. Referee Mr. Don looks at his linesman, checks his watch, checks his other watch. Adds on a bit more stoppage time. Teal. Right. Regis. And again. There may still be time for another Villa attack. It's Regis. Well, it needed something spectacular, and he attempted it, but without success. Grobbelaar's injured hand seems to have held out, and they're holding in their hands the Liverpool scarves to denote that they are one step, they believe, closer to Wembley. We're in the second minute of stoppage time now. But then, of course, these days, there seems to be more and more stoppage time. Graham Souness, in his first season as the Liverpool manager, may find himself now just one step away from Wembley. But never speak too soon in the FA Cup, you just never know. McGrath. Molby's little touch forward. Whelan couldn't get there. Well, they're looking at their watches. It's 2.5 minutes of stoppage time now. Regis for Villa. Barnes gives it away. McGrath. Mark Wright, that was an important clearance, and Saunders should have really come and challenged for that. In fact, Rosenthal did, but Villa are encamped in the Liverpool half even now. Whistles all over the ground. Yeah, how long are we going to play for, he's saying? 48 minutes, 49? Who knows? Mr. Don's the only man who can apparently tell us, and he's quite happy to carry on. It's Rosenthal. Good run. He's got Saunders free to his left, and he pushed the ball one step too far ahead, Ronnie Rosenthal. Otherwise, they were through again. Froggatt. And still Villa come. Daly. Can he hit the line? No, he's taken it too far. Trevor Brooking, there may just be time for you to say what you think at this stage.
Well, it's been a pulsating last half an hour, hasn't it? Liverpool just stepped up a gear in the second half. I think it was critical moving John Barnes into the middle for 20 minutes. He made the goal. His influence has been important. And in the end, that's going to be enough.
Enough to take Liverpool into the FA Cup semi-final, courtesy of a tremendous save by Grobbelaar and a goal a little earlier by Michael Thomas that he'll remember for the rest of his career, just as he got the one here for Arsenal. Graham Souness, a relieved man now. It was a sticky last 15 minutes for Liverpool, but they'd done enough earlier. They made the breakthrough when it mattered, and their supporters will be as eager as I'm sure the viewers are to know who they play now in the semi-final. Graham Souness, having had an awkward season to negotiate in terms of injuries, sees Barnes come back for only his 6th game of the season and make the telling pass that produced the goal that sent Liverpool into the semi-final. But in my opinion, Grobbelaar's save from Parker was just as important on the day. A wonderful atmosphere. Aston Villa going to their supporters to thank them for the contribution they made to an excellent day here. A well-contested match. And Thomas, who also only came back from injury this afternoon, and we should mention Whelan too, they all played a part. And Liverpool are home by just the one goal, and Aston Villa, whose contribution was considerable, will have to rue the fact they're out of the FA Cup. And the first man to grab Graham Souness when he came off the pitch was our reporter Ray Stubbs.
Congratulations, what a great cup tie in the second half that was.
Well, I thought it was a great game. I mean, obviously on the line we see it differently, but I thought it was a great cup tie. It was two really good teams. Villa are a good team. We knew we had to be at our best, I felt, to beat them today. And I thought in the second half we showed signs of that. That today would be, I've been at the club a year, Ray. I would say that's the first time we've fielded anything like our strongest side. And I've always said, judge us when our full side is at strength. We had 3 players out there today who hadn't played for a long, long time. And for Michael Thomas to get the goal that eventually won it, all credit to him. Because they said he's only trained maybe 3 or 4 days. He was desperate to play. John Barnes was desperate to play. And I think Ronnie Whelan epitomises everything about this club. He's been out near enough a year now, and he showed the character and everything there is, every good thing in football today, because he stuck at his job. Someone who there was a big doubt about his career. I think anybody who is sitting watching us at home who's maybe got a problem and a little doubt about their career should look at Ronnie Whelan, have a close look at him. And that was the biggest highlight of the game for me.
You never won the FA Cup as a player. How about a manager?
No, we've still not won it. We've done very well today. I'm delighted. We've had lots of problems this year. We're now in the semi-final, and it's a neutral ground, and I would take our chances against anybody on a neutral ground.
Congratulations. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks.
Number 1.
Liverpool.
Number 2.
Will play Portsmouth.
Number 3.
Chelsea or Sunderland.
And would you believe number 4?
Southampton or Norwich City. Well, that concludes the draw. The ties will be played on Sunday the 5th of April, and now back to Desmond Lynham at Anfield.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Graham. So there's confirmation of it, and I suspect that Liverpool will be pretty happy with that. With all due respect to Portsmouth.
Happy Liverpool dressing room at the moment after hearing that draw.
Yeah.
As you say, no disrespect to Portsmouth, but that is the team that everybody in the draw would want to play at.
And of course, those ties will be on BBC television. Now, let's hear from John Barnes and Ronnie Whelan. They're downstairs.
Ronnie, reaction to that draw, FA Cup semi-final?
We're just happy to be in the semi-final. We don't matter who we get. As long as we're there, we're happy.
First out the draw, somebody in the dressing room shouted, "We're at home."
Yeah, it was Mark Walters, he's a bit like that.
John Barnes, welcome back to football, and you were involved in the goal.
Yeah, felt a bit tired, and you know, normally I may have gone on a dribble, but my legs had gone, so I decided to play the ball through, and Michael Thomas finished it well.
And Ronnie, after such a long layoff, you must be really pleased to be back playing football and playing so well.
I'm just back to be playing, pleased to be back playing. It's been 6 months now, as in probably John as well. The two of us have played 9 games, I think, between us this season. We're both happy to be back playing.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.